Hello lovely pen people, welcome back to my channel. It's Daisy and today I am bringing you, I don't know what happened to my voice there, I am bringing you a mini unboxing and a currently inked March 2021 edition. You are on a brand new tripod and I have super inky fingers. Fingers crossed that this tripod is a little bit more stable. I did try and have it at sort of more of an angle like my last videos, but this is all we're working with at the moment. This is all I can get it to do. I play around with it a little bit more. Let's get into it. So I've snipped these but I haven't opened them. First up we have some Lamy ink cartridges. So this is the colour, I believe, copper orange, or it's supposed to be copper orange anyway. So this is, I got these from eBay. Oh, and I got the cartridges on eBay as well, but I think they were from like a actual sort of pen company. They were £2, and these I believe were sort of around the £8 mark for both. I think it's a passport size, is that what you'd call it? It's 9 by 14 centimeters. It looks like a passport, and there's two, and then it's got the writing guides at the back as well. So you got your 10mm lined on one side, and it's also got 7mm line, millimeter line on the other side, and then you got your 5 graph paper on one side and then the 10 on the other side. And then this is the Tomoe River paper. I'm going to use this little booklet to do my, currently inked in, my slightly larger notebook. Pretty much been filled. I was hoping that I would have a more exciting unboxing for you today. I have actually made an order with Galen leather or Garland leather, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. I start with my Jinhao pens. Some of these you will see in an upcoming video. It's sort of a review slash first impressions slash do I like them or not, which I suppose is what a review is. You know what I mean. I have no idea why I've actually put this guide underneath, because I haven't stuck to it at all. Like, what is the point, Daisy? I don't understand why I've done it. So this one is the Jinhao 599A, I think. And it's the, like, the Lamy sort of dupe. I imagine this would be called Mango. And inside is my Franken ink. When I first put this in the pen, ink was going literally everywhere. I think there was probably still a little bit of water in there from when I cleaned the pen out or the converter out, and it was just not playing game. The last couple of hours it sort of like sorted itself out. So this is my Franken ink. I really wish I remember what I put in here, because that is a colour that is like so up my street. It's unbelievable. It's like a rusty browny reddy colour and I am obsessed. Oh my god, they're disgusting. I'm so sorry. It's because I was playing around with inks and like smudging them about before. Oh, I don't think things through very well. I'm aware of that. I'm gonna ditch this. It's not working for me. Maybe I'm just not that patient. So this is another of the Jinhao. Oh, and this one was I believe that it was a Fine Nib. This one, the nib on this is quite janky. It's not particularly straight. It sort of curves upwards and then back. Oh, there you go, you can see it there. Yeah, it's dodgy as, but it works just fine. And this ink is a relatively new one to me. It is the this one here, the La Artisan Pastelier. I have no clue, but I believe these do the Colofolio inks as well, which everyone's obsessed with. It's the same brand, but I think like a different sort of section of it. This is called Olive. No, it looks in real life like fake leaves, if you know what I mean, sort of like plastic leaves, and it's no, I don't like it. I believe this bottle was fairly cheap, under a £5, for 30ml, which isn't the best sort of amount to get in an ink bottle, but it's not horrendous either. Comes in a gorgeous little glass bottle, and it's not I don't like the ink itself, it's just that I don't like the colour. So I think I'll probably pass this on to somebody. So my next Jinhao is my Jinhao Shark. Oops. And this has Robert Oster Viola in it. This one is, oh, I forgot to say that one's an extra fine nib, or did I say that? I can't remember. This one is a fine nib. I really love this pen and I really love the colour of this ink. However, them together, it is not a great combination. I mean, that little swatch is just painful, isn't it? We've got two more Jinhaos. So we've got the Jinhao X450 and then the Jinhao, I don't know if it's 750 or X750, it's one of them. Really enjoying using so far. I sort of wish that the nib and the grip and everything was in this pen body, and then I think that would be like my perfect pen. Like it's just beautiful to write with. So I'll do this one first, and it's in, I don't really know what you'd call this finish, maybe like sort of marbled effect. It's like grey, white, black with some gold trim. The thing that I really hate about sort of cheaper pens, that like the gold trims always look so yellow and so cheap and so tacky. I much prefer like the silver chrome trim because it doesn't look as cheap. I mean, I know they're a cheap pen, but I don't think that you really want them to look cheap. But the way that it's just like a really nice, comfortable pen as well. Jinhao. Right, X450. And I don't really know what this nib, oh, I keep going over there. I don't really know what this, like the size of the nib is. It says that it's 18 karat gold plated. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that would even make a difference to the nib. I'd probably say it's between a fine and a medium. It's not quite as thin as a fine, but it's not as juicy as a medium, if you sort of catch my drift. So I'm gonna go like that. This was my favourite ink of all time, and I cannot pronounce the name to save my life. You know that I'm not great at pronouncing anything, particularly names of inks. I'll give it a go. Valet Marineris or Valles Marineris or Valet Marineri. I'm not quite sure. But it's the most adorable little bottle that I have ever seen in my life. It's only 5ml, but so far it's lasted me not too bad. I'm probably about halfway down, and I've definitely got a couple of fills from this so far. So Colourverse. I'm gonna have to get that back on because I'm not gonna be able to remember how to spell it. It's a really hard colour to describe as well, because it's sort of in the middle of a green, a brown, a black, and in a really weird way, an orange. I'll show you a close-up, although it is probably better to wait until it's completely dry. So just do some doodles there. I'll give it a couple of minutes, and when this page is dry, I'll show you what it looks like up close. But stunning, beautiful. And my last Jinhao pen. So this one has got a sort of chrome nib. This one also says that it's 18 karat gold plated. Again, I don't really know if it makes that much of a difference. It probably actually isn't even plated with anything. And it's so sparkly as well. I don't know if you can be able to see. Let me just tilt my light a little bit this way. And maybe, there we go. You can see how sparkly it is. I feel like if my soul had a colour, it would be black and sparkly. And the ink in this was once my favourite ever ink, and it is still up there, but it has just been taken over by two others. So I'd say it's probably my third favourite of all time, and it's Diamond's Honey Burst. The shading on it is just so beautiful.
I will say, I find with this ink and Nula's Black Swan in Australian Roses, if you go over, say if you were like, if I'm like colouring this in now, if I was then to go over it again, it completely makes the paper disintegrate. So that's not great. I mean, I don't have that a lot with inks. It's mainly if I'm like trying to go over a mistake or something like that, that's when it sort of happens. But yeah, not ideal, but there's not really that many times when that would happen or when that would be an issue. But it's just something to know if you're like me and make a million mistakes when you're writing. So I'll give it a minute. I'm going to have a little Prosecco break. Cheers. And I'll be back when it's dry.
So I'm back. I've changed the lighting a bit. It's a little bit brighter now, so hopefully you can see a bit better. Please let me know any feedback regarding lighting setup, because I'm a complete newbie and I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm literally just winging it, doing it as I go along and hoping for the best. So here is a close-up. So here's my Franken ink. It looks like a blush sort of pink on camera, but it is a lot more brown. The olive, the viola. I just wish that I hadn't ruined it and put it in this pen for my last bit of my sample, but I'm sure I'll be able to get another one. And I've smudged this one. I think it I pressed too hard as I was writing, which is something that I always do. I'm so heavy-handed. What's stunning. And then my Old Faithful Diamond Honey Burst, with amazing shading, because this has my new favourite ever in the world ink in it. So this is a Lamy Safari, and I've screwed it on the wrong way, so the writing's at the back rather than at the front. But I'll change that, that's fine. This one is a medium nib, and in here is this little gorgeous, most magical bottle of ink that I've ever come across, and it is the Mont Blanc Petit prints in rose burgundy. I saw these I think on Depop for something ridiculous like £3 or £4. The cartridges retail for £8, so I thought might as well pick it up, give it a go, and I am so glad that I did. And I think this may be the first bottle of ink that I'm going to spend over £30 on. My lighting's just dreadful today, but it's like a really gorgeous, like true burgundy with like a really tiny hint of like a dusky pinky sort of colour, well, rosy sort of colour, and I am obsessed. It behaves amazingly well, it shades amazingly, especially when you're writing quite a lot, and it has I don't think you can see it on here, but it almost has like a black outline. Oh, beautiful. 3 Parker pens. So these are 2 vintage Parker 45s. This one, I don't know if it's a fake because it didn't actually say 45 on there, and it's broken at the end. It does have like the Parker fill-in system in there, like the, I don't know what it's called, like I'm not quite sure what it's called, but which is a bit of a pain in the bum, but do you know what, it's not horrendous. And this one's a medium nib. So if anyone could actually tell me if they think that this might be real or fake, because I have no clue. I mean, I managed to get it on eBay for an absolute bargain. I think it was like 4 or 5 quid. So to be honest, I'm not that bothered, and it writes so nicely. It's one of my favourite pens at the moment. And as you can see, it has got good old Milky Ocean in there, and I hate blue inks, but I love this one. This one is an extra fine nib. This is a pen which is so comfortable to write with. It doesn't hurt my fingers whatsoever, and it's a really nice wet extra fine nib. I feel like a lot of extra fine nibs write really dry, but this one has no problemos. I'm just going to do like a little scribble next to this one, and you can see this one's like a lot more vibrant, but not like vibrant in a good way. I mean, I don't know, I think it's just because I was expecting this colour to be this colour, and it just wasn't. But it's not Noodle's fault. It's still a beautiful ink. I still use it. And then this one is my old Parker Vector. I was watching Chris Sans. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce her second name. I was watching her video on her currently inked, and she had received a Parker Vector from, I think maybe like a pen friend or something like that, and it wrote beautifully with that Parker red cartridge that she put in there, and it just inspired me to dig mine out. I've put Diamine Damson in here, and it has completely transformed this pen. So from what something this pen used to be for me when I think I had the Parker Black Quink cartridge in there, and I've got a cartridge converter now. When I had the black ink in it, it was constantly giving me hard starts. It was constantly skipping. It just wasn't a great pen. I mean, it's quite old now and this is super beat up and it's not in the best shape, but it was cheap and it does write really nicely with this ink in. And this one's a medium nib. And then my final pen is the Twisty Eco in black with a medium nib. I spoke about it briefly in one of, I think it was my previous video, because I actually inked it up with petrichor, and it's still the same ink in here. I have used about half of it and I just can't wait for it to finish, because I feel like this is going to be a really unpopular opinion, but I'm not a fan of this pen. I've mentioned about the nib before. Although it's actually looking a little bit thicker now, I have just been sort of fiddling around with the feed and nib a little bit, trying to maybe align it a little bit better. So maybe that's made a difference. Maybe I'll now love it, but usually it writes so fine and so scratchy, and the nib tends to then fall out. Well, it doesn't fall out, but it gets slightly looser, and then it's like my whole hand is bouncing on the page, and I find the grip incredibly uncomfortable. I can't write comfortably with this. It just completely obliterates this part of my finger here. I could probably write with it for around 5 minutes, probably max. I feel like it might not be the pen's fault. I feel like it might be my fault. Surprise, surprise, my camera ran out of storage. Well, not camera, my phone ran out of storage yet again. Midway through talking, but you didn't miss much. I'm not that interested really. I was basically saying that maybe I hold the grip a little bit too tight, but it's just not something that I'm a massive fan of. If you have any tips to make me love the Twisby a little bit more, please comment them down below, because I really, really, really want to love it. I thought I'd give you a quick close-up of these inks. It's just beautiful, that top one. I shall see you very soon. Bye guys.